Welcome to Education Online. I'm called Regina Massimo, teaching you biology. The topic of today is climate change. We want to see or look at what is meant by climate change. Climate change refers to the increasing changes climate change refers to increasing changes in the measures of climate over a long period of time. What do you mean by climate? Climate is referred to the average of conditions of weather. Conditions of weather. So when we talk about climate, we are talking about temperature of the place, because this condition at a particular point, on the particular point on Earth. So when we talk about climate, we talk about temperature of that place, temperature of that place. We talk about rainfall, and so forth. So when we talk about weather, this we mean is referred to the conditions of atmosphere at a certain place and time. Weather is referred to the conditions of weather, no condition of atmosphere. Atmosphere at certain place and time. So when we talk about weather, we mean the temperature of that place, temperature, pressure, rainfall, humidity, and all this. So let's come to back to the definition of climate change, because we define climate change as the increasing changes in the measures of climate over a long period of time. Over a long period of time. And climate is all about the averages of conditions of weather, like temperature, rainfall, and all this. So from the definition, that means when we talk about climate change, we are talking about the increasing changes in the temperature of that place, the rainfall of that place, the pressure of that place, even the humidity of that place. So if there's climate change, that means we will see, or we can realize that even the weather is changed. If the weather is changed, that means we can realize clear changes in temperature, clear changes in the pressure, in humidity, in rainfall. Climate is changing due to human activities. Climate is changing due to human activities. What are these human activities? Like burning of fossil fuel. This like petrol or natural gases, and even oil like petrol. We are burning this fuel because we want to make what? Electricity. Because we want to power our vehicle so that we make it move. We want to power vehicles because we want to make it move. So if we are burning this fuel to get electricity or to power our vehicle, this burning, when the fuel is burned, at the end it gives out the waste in form of smoke, and that is smoke, it is a gas. So this is one activity of human activity. Another activity is deforestation, which is clearing forest, cutting out the tree. So all this activity is the one leading to climate change, because the gas is coming from the burning of the fuel going up to the atmosphere. Some of the gases can be absorbed by the trees, but because we have removed all the trees, that means we have cleared all the forest, no trees are there to absorb some of the gases. So that means all the gases what? Will be hanging in the atmosphere. So when it's accumulated there, now it forms greenhouse gases. The accumulation of this gas is forming what? Greenhouse gases. What are these greenhouse gases? This gas is called greenhouse gases. What are they? This is like carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, nitrous oxide, N2O. So these are the main gases known as greenhouse gases. So these gas, when they accumulate in the atmosphere, they warm the Earth's surface. Then with time, the greenhouse gas will warm the global Earth surface, leading to what's known by global warming. And global warming is one of the aspects of climate change, and is the one drives the other changes. Global warming is the one drives the other changes. That means if there's a rise in a global temperature, that rise of temperature can change the rainfall design even. Rainfall design. Can change all the aspect of climate, like temperature, rainfall, humidity, and all this. So this introduction about the climate change, we learn about what is meant by climate change and how climate is changing due to the human activity that result to greenhouse gases. Their accumulation in the atmosphere warms the Earth's surface. With time, will lead to global warming. Now, we are coming to see the effect of global warming. The effect of global warming. Not global warming alone, because global warming is one of the aspects of climate change. I mean, the effect of climate change in general. Effects of climate change. That is the impact of it. One of it is global warming. Global warming. When we talk about global warming, we are talking about the rise in the global temperature. Global warming is referred to rise in the global temperature. Due to increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. One of the effects of climate change is global warming. Global warming means a rise in a global temperature. That means the temperature is rising worldwide. And this rise in a temperature due to increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And these greenhouse gases are the gases that release from the burning of fuel, like carbon dioxide, methane gas, and nitrous gases. When they get accumulated in the atmosphere, they warm the surface of the earth. Because accumulation of this gas, they allow the sun to reach the earth in form of radiation. When the earth's surface get hot, with time suppose some of the heat to return back to the atmosphere. But because of this gas in the atmosphere, like it's formed like layers, it prevent going back of this heat radiation. That means it traps some of the heat. It traps some of the heat, outgoing heat. So that heat will remain on the earth's surface. With time, the temperature of the earth surface increase. With time, the temperature on the earth's surface increases. As we said, global warming is one of the aspects of climate change, and is the one driving to the rest of the changes. So if there's a change in the temperature, global temperature, that will lead to rise of sea level. Sea level will increase. Have you seen, when you go back to the definition of climate, is a change in the measures of climate. So the measures of climate, they have optimum measures. But if there's any change, will interrupt their natural measurements. Like this sea, when the global temperature increases, will lead to what? Rise in sea level. Because sea has its optimum level. When it rises or increase from that level, it will lead to flooding. Because of the thermal expansion and melting of ice sheet. When the ice mold, you change its state from solid to the liquid. That's why we lead to rise in the sea level. When the level of the sea has got changes or has increased, that will lead to flooding. If there's a flood, the flood will cause what? Population displacement. And even can lead to loss of lives and properties of people. Even animals, they can lose their life. If you've seen this, the effect of climate change is starting from the global warming, the leading factor to all the changes of climate. Global warming can make the sea level to increase. When the sea level increase, will lead to flooding. If there's a flood, that means will cause population displacement, loss of life and properties of people. Even animals can lose their lives. And if there is a flood, even we can see our infrastructures get damaged. Damage of infrastructures like roads, rails and buildings. Rails and buildings. The fourth effect of climate change is increase in the risk of illness and death. Increase in the risk of illness and death. Increase in the risk of illness and death. When the gases are accumulating in the atmosphere, that means it is automatically air pollution. If the air is polluted with those gases we mentioned, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, during the rain time, the water can react with these gases and form acidic rain. And this acidic rain also has got negative impact on our buildings, on our health. All these are there. Air pollution, the presence or accumulation of these gases in the air, can cause what is known as this reduction of ozone. This ozone is protecting us from some of the radiations. So if it is reduced, we are automatically exposed to the sickness or some illness or even death. So this is also another effect of climate change, increase in the risk of illness and death. Exposure to the high temperature is a problem. Exposure to the high temperature is a problem. Why is it problem? Too high temperature can lead to dehydration. Our body loses water. Normally, it uses water in form of sweat. We are losing sweat. And we know very well that the composition of blood, 90% of the blood is water. So losing the water because of the high temperature in form of sweat, causing what? Dehydration. If we are dehydrated, we are likely to get risk of some illness like heart attack, or respiratory diseases. We are likely to get heart attack or respiratory diseases. Since our blood contains 9% water, if the water is lost, that means it becomes what? Thick. If it is thick, it cannot circulate in our body. If the blood is not circulating, we know very well the importance of the blood is distributing what? The oxygen and nutrient and regulating the temperature. So if it's not circulating, all these functions can stop. If this function is not there, all the systems in the body can collapse. If the systems are collapsed, the individual is also finished. If the blood cannot circulate, is not distributing the oxygen, will be having problem in what? Respiratory system. We'll be having problem in breathing. That's why we can get respiratory diseases. So this is all about the effect of climate change. So how can we solve these problems of climate change? We can solve them just by enhancing investment in clean energy and efficiency. Let us look at the solutions of climate change. Solution to climate change. We need to enhance investment, enhancing investment of or investment in clean energy. In clean energy, because we learned that the greenhouse gases resulting from the burning of the fuel, and we are burning the fuel to get electricity and power our vehicles. So since we are in need of energy, we should enhance clean energy, or we should invest in a clean energy, like using solar or wind energy. These are examples of clean energy and efficient at the same time. We said that climate change resulting from the human activities like clearing of forests or deforestation. So how can we solve this problem? We should enhance sustainable land use and forest management. We should enhance sustainable land use and forest management. And forest management to stop what? Forest loss. So up to here We are done with our lesson of today, climate change. At the end, I am going to conclude it as this. Climate change is the responsibility of each and every one of us. Otherwise, we are all will be in danger. Thanks. We meet next